Hare Krishna. So, a very warm welcome to all of you for today's special session on some very special aspects of the Bhagavad Gita, in which we'll also be covering some aspects from some other higher scriptures also. Although there's nothing higher than the Bhagavad Gita, but there are some scriptures which talk about Vedic cosmos, Vedic cosmology, because it's very important to understand this aspect of Bhagavad Gita, because as we move ahead in the Bhagavad Gita, we will see how this is practically we can understand Bhagavad Gita very easily when if we understand this Vedic cosmology. And also, not only this, we'll get a good idea of what our scriptures talk about this whole Vedic cosmos. Okay, so we'll start our session with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So humans have since times immemorial been very inquisitive about the higher planetary systems, the higher beings, what happens in other planets, what happens in these stars, galaxies, what are those? Human mind has always been curious to know about it. Even today, if you take the fastest spacecraft which has been created by human beings, and if you want to go to the nearest star, now there are two stars which are very near to Earth. One star is Proxima Centauri, and another is Alpha Centauri. Okay, so these are two stars which are nearest to Earth. They are around 4 light years away. That means if you throw light from here to those stars, it will take 4 years for light to reach there. That is what they say about light years. Okay. Light years means the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So 4 light years means distance which light will cover in 4 years. So that is the distance of these nearest stars. They are the nearest star to earthly planetary system. So just imagine the distances in the universe. It's so humongous, it's so huge. So the fastest spacecraft which is created by human beings, if we travel in that fastest spacecraft and try to go to the nearest star, you know how much time it will take? It will take at least 75,000 years to reach the nearest star. Just imagine. It will take 75,000 years to reach the nearest planet, nearest star. So that is why it's almost impossible for humans to know the intricacies and the dynamics of the universe, because it is beyond their domain of understanding. The Lord has not made humans capable enough to understand all the aspects of the universe. It's beyond their domain. That's why even to go to the nearest planet, it takes 75,000 years. Just imagine going to higher planets, higher stars. There are stars which are billions of light years away. So humans can never understand all these things. It's almost impossible. You know, little ants which are there, their understanding of this world is rudimentary. Rudimentary means they can only understand 2 dimensions. They cannot understand three dimensions. What does it mean? It means that they can understand length and breadth, but if you talk about height, they will never understand because they have no access to that dimension of existence. They can only see underneath underneath their eyes. They can't move their eyes, and they can only see these two dimensions, length and breadth. They can't see, understand height. If you tell ants that there is something called as height, they will not understand. So their understanding is always two dimensional. Now we as human beings, our understanding is three dimensional. So the more you start adding dimensions, so a three dimension, because we have access to three dimensions, we can understand three dimensions. We can very easily manipulate things which are happening in two-dimensional world, and we'll have full access to that. Just imagine if something is in two dimension, just piece of paper. How easy for it is for us to see them. We can see everything what they are doing, but they cannot see what we are doing. They cannot see us. We can see them. We can see everything about them, but they cannot see us. So this is what happens when you move to higher dimensions. So in the universe also, there are unlimited dimensions. Now, as humans, we can only see up to three dimensions. But in higher planetary systems, in higher uh, stages of the universe, there are beings who are having access to unlimited dimensions, many, many dimensions. Okay. So, or also, I would request all of you to make notes. This session is very important, and wherever possible, try to make notes because otherwise, you see, these sessions will keep happening and you will keep forgetting because we need to remember all these things, what we are learning. Okay. So try to make notes, whatever things you feel important, note it down. Or for a better understanding, also you can make notes. Okay. So now another aspect which we need to understand is that matter cannot move on its own. Matter is not inert. Inert means it has got no capacity to expand or move on its own. That's why it is called inert. Okay. So we see this whole universe is moving. This is all matter. Earth is matter. All the billions and trillions of galaxies and all these things we see, they are all matter. Right? They are all matter. So how they are moving? If matter is moving, if matter is moving constantly, that means it is controlled. Otherwise, matter cannot move. Right? So this is the fundamental characteristic or fundamental understanding between spirit and matter. That matter cannot move on its own. Matter depends on spirit to move it. Spirit can move matter, but matter cannot move on its own. In our body, there are so many hormones which are secreted. As soon as we put food into the mouth and then we gulp the food inside, then there is a food pipe which contracts and expands and it shifts the food into the stomach. Okay. And when the food enters the stomach, as soon as the food enters stomach, thousands of hormones and enzymes attack the food. And that's how the food gets dissolved into all the cells and other parts of the body. Isn't it? But if the spirit soul leaves the body, for example, if when a person dies, so death means spirit soul has given up the body, it has left the body. So once spirit soul leaves the body, then what happens? After that, if you put food in the mouth, will any gulping happen? No. Suppose if by force or forcefully we forcefully put the food into the stomach of that person, will there be any enzymes, hormones secreted? No. Right? So what does it mean? That spirit is the source of matter. Matter cannot create matter. Spirit can create matter. So when we see this at a micro scale, we see like this. But at a macro scale, at a larger scale also, the Supreme Spirit, which is Krishna, He has created. He is the creator. Whenever we talk of creation, there has to be a creator. Nowadays, you see, there are some nonsensical theories which are going on. We have studied it in our schools also. There's one foolish theory called Big Bang theory. The most foolish theory I've ever read in my life. Just imagine if you go to some metropolitan, a big city, say Tokyo, New York, and you see a huge skyscraper of 100 floors, and you go to the builder of that, the person who constructed that building, and you go and ask him that, Mr. Such and Such, how did you construct this skyscraper? And that builder, he tells you that, no, I didn't construct it. I just planted a bomb there on the plot, and there was a blast in the bomb. The bomb exploded, and this structure came about. This huge skyscraper came about. Will you believe it? You laugh at it. Now, when I am saying, you are all laughing. When these so-called foolish philosophers or scientists say, you believe it. This is called blind faith. We know that even a skyscraper which is constructed brick by brick, someone has put, because of which this huge skyscraper has come about. Brick by brick has been put by some human being. Right? So nothing can happen suddenly. Some blast happened, some explosion happened, and this beautiful creation took place. You see how beautiful this creation is. You go to Switzerland, you go to Kashmir, you go to some parts of Europe, Asia. They are so gorgeous, so beautiful. So how this beautiful creation came about by a bomb blast or by an explosion? You see, another theory people say that we are all descendants from monkeys. What nonsense. Darwin's father was a monkey. My father was not a monkey. Is not a monkey. Right? Darwin may think that his father is a monkey. I am not born from a monkey. So all these theories, these are all based out of mental speculation. Guesswork. Guessing game. You are guessing. This would have happened. This things would have happened like this. But human mind has limitations. There are four imperfections in human mind. Four imperfections. Propensity to commit mistakes. The first one, propensity to commit mistakes. The second one, illusion. Illusion. The third one, cheating propensity. Okay. So propensity to commit mistakes, propensity to cheat, illusion. And the fourth is imperfect senses. Our senses are imperfect. So the instruments which we construct with these imperfections are also imperfect. So a person who is having these four defects, he cannot give perfect philosophy of life. He cannot give the knowledge which is par excellence. No, because that knowledge will also be imperfect. So there are two ways to receive knowledge, predominantly two ways, or broadly classifying three ways. One is called, the first one is called Anuman Praman. Anuman means guesswork. Okay, so the first one is called Anuman Praman, which is guesswork. The second one is Pratyaksh Praman, seeing is believing. That is the second way of receiving knowledge. And the third is Shruti Praman or Shabd Praman, hearing from authorities. Now, if you want to know who is your father, how will you know? If you want to know who is your father, Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman means guesswork. Will it work? You stand on the road and you start thinking, oh, he has also one nose, two eyes, 2 ears, two hands, two legs. Oh, he can be my father. But then you see, oh, everyone has that. Will you ever come to know by guesswork? Can you do DNA testing of everyone in the universe or in the world? No. So by guesswork, we can never know. Anuman Praman fails. Then second is Pratyaksha Praman. Pratyaksha means seeing is believing. Now, can it work if you want to know your father? No. If you see everyone, everyone will have one nose, two eyes, 2 ears. Isn't it? So seeing is believing also fails if we want to know perfect knowledge. The only way to receive knowledge is hearing from authorities. Hearing from authority. So our Vedic scriptures are written by authorities. They are not ordinary people who have compiled the Vedic scriptures, and through Guru Parampara, through lineage or disciplic succession, that knowledge has been transmitted to us. That is why that knowledge is perfect. Because matter cannot move on its own. So matter can only be created because of spirit. Spirit can create matter. Matter cannot create spirit. Is it? So this world also, if you see this whole universe, this universe also cannot, it's not that it has come into existence suddenly. No, there is a person behind it. There's a divine plan, intelligence, everything. Just imagine the intelligence of the Lord. How intelligently he has created this universe. We all need water, right? We all need water. And this earth is filled 79% with water. 75% is filled with water. Now just imagine. 75% of the earth is filled with water, but can you drink that water? No. So what happens? In physics, there is a theory of pressure. P is equal to rho G H2 minus H1. That means P is equal to P means pressure is equal to rho is a constant, G means gravitation, H2 minus H1. That means the lower we go, the higher the pressure. And air always flows from high pressure to low pressure. So you see, I'm talking about intelligence, how the Lord has created this creation. If you put water at a place, and if you want to drink that water after 15 days, can you drink that? No, it will become contaminated. But oceans have been created, but that water remains fresh. Why? It is lying there for millions of years. Why that water is fresh? Because salt is added to it. Who has added salt? Who has planned this? Now that salty water we cannot drink. So another arrangement has been made. That in the poles, the North Pole and South Pole, there is high pressure created. Okay. And in India or at places where there is summer, there is low pressure created. Isn't it? Then ocean water, because of the sun, there is low pressure at the sea level, and there is high pressure at, sorry, there is high pressure at sea level, and there is low pressure uh, in the sky. So water gets evaporated and moves, the vapor moves up, and that creates clouds. Just imagine. That creates clouds. Now, there is low pressure on land and high pressure on poles. So air will move where? Towards low pressure area. That is called monsoon in India. You know, the clouds, they, because of the air which pushes the clouds, come, and then there is huge rainfall everywhere. Not only that, now rainfall is pure water, isn't it? That salty water automatically got converted into pure water. Now, if there is such arrangement, who has made such arrangement? There is a divine intelligence who has planned everything, isn't it? And then this water comes, it falls, and the land is porous, so the water gets seeped underneath the ground level. And wherever you dig, and there is water, pure water with minerals, with minerals. Nowadays, since this bottled water is there, it has no minerals. You see? So whenever we talk of creation, whenever we talk of regularity, arrangement, we know that there is a personality involved who is doing everything. Right? So similarly, when we talk of this creation, there is a person who has created everything. And that person is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the best name that can be given to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Why? Because the word Krishna means all attractive. All attractive. Who attracts everyone towards himself. So Krishna means all attractive. If there is God, he has to be all attractive, isn't it? How can God be unattractive? No. So that is why the best nomenclature that can be given to God is Krishna. Although God can be called by many names. God, Allah, Ishwar, Isha, like that, so many names. But the best nomenclature can be Krishna. Why? Because Krishna means all attractive. No. So it is all created by Krishna. Why this world has been created, we'll discuss later on. But you see, everything has been created like this. So now, after understanding these basics, if we want to understand this universe and the conception of dimensions in the universe, the conception of time in the universe, we needed to understand what I discussed till now. So in our universe, the dimension of time is conical in shape. Conical means inverted cone. It's in the form of inverted cone. That means that as we move higher in the planetary systems, as we move higher in the planetary systems, the dimension of time increases. That's like inverted. Inverted cone means like this. Inverted. When we go down, it decreases in size. When we go up, it increases in size. So the concept of time or the dimension of time in the universe is inverted cone, like an inverted cone. So with the more we go higher in the universe, the dimension of time increases many-fold. Okay. So that's how the time exists. Also, the moment we leave the atmosphere of the Earth, we enter into different dimensions. Now, what happens is these spacecraft which go in space, they may have gone to some other dimension. Now, they don't realize because they have moved into another dimension because they have no access to higher dimensions. So, they have moved into some other dimension and they think that they are going to the moon planet. Right. Anyways, we'll discuss about it later because there are many planets which are invisible planets in the universe. The description of moon planet is given in the Vedic scriptures. It's a planet which is illuminated planet, very beautiful, white in color. And it's called Chandra Loka. It's a part of Swarg Loka. It's a part of heavenly planetary system. So in this body, you cannot access the moon planet. But in between moon and earth, in a different dimension, there are many invisible planets like Rahu and Ketu. So these people, they land on such invisible planets and they think that they have landed on the moon. Right? Because once you move outside the Earth's atmosphere, there are dimensional concepts which come into existence. Which dimension you are going at, you will not know. You get lost. So that's why it's very complex. This whole universe is very complex, but we can understand it easily if we hear from authorities. So the greatest authority who has written all or compiled all the Vedic scriptures is Ved Vyas or Vyasdev. During earlier times, there was no need of writing because people were so sharp and they were so brilliant that whatever they would hear from their guru, they'll never forget. Such brahmacharis used to be called as Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means whatever you'll hear, you'll never forget. So those who are brahmacharis, after long period of following celibacy, their seven energy starts fertilizing the brain. And brain becomes so sharp that whatever they'll hear and whatever they'll read, they'll never forget. Our acharyas, my Guru Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj, my grand spiritual master, my Param Guru Maharaj, he was a Shrutidhar. He was a Naishtik Brahmachari, never got married, was celibate throughout his life. I am also trying to follow his footsteps. So he was a Shrutidhar. Whatever he would hear, he'll never forget. Whatever he will read, he will never forget. So during earlier times, there was no need of writing because when Guru would speak, a disciple would hear and he would gather experience by hearing. So there are three classes of intelligence: first class intelligence, second class intelligent, third class intelligent. First class intelligent person gathers experience by hearing. Just by hearing, he'll gather all the experience. Second class intelligent person, second class intelligent person is a person who gets punished and then he learns. For example, if mother says that, my dear son, do not touch fire, it will burn you. So first class intelligent person will never touch fire in whole life. Why? Because he gathers experience by hearing. Right? But second class person, he will go and touch the fire, he'll get burned, and then he will learn the lesson. That is called second class intelligence. And third class intelligent person means he will get burnt also, still he will keep touching the fire. Okay. So during earlier times, people used to be very high class intelligence, and that's why there was no need of writing. But as we moved, we progressed, as they could understand that people in this age will be very difficult for them to read, and he could envision that people will not be that intelligent, and that's why he compiled all the Vedic scriptures in written format. Right? So Vedas are huge, they're humongous. And a lot of divine wisdom is there in the Vedas also. But all that which is contained in the Vedas, you find in the Bhagavad Gita. But there are many things in the Bhagavad Gita which you don't find anywhere in the world. That is the standard, that is the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita. So now coming back to the Vedic cosmology, let me take you to an image. You can see on your screen, all of you. Yeah. You see, our universe is divided into 14 planetary systems. Not planets, planetary systems. What does it mean? That each planetary system has many, many, many thousands of planets. Okay. So our planetary system in which we or Earth planet exists, that planetary system is called Bhuloka. So our planetary system is called Bhuloka. Loka means it comprises of many planets of similar characteristics. That is called Loka. You see, I'll show it to you. You see, this is one universe, which is our universe. And in this, there are these upper planetary systems. This is middle planetary system, Bhuloka. And below Bhuloka, Atal, you see, below Bhuloka is Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. So these are lower planetary systems. Now above Earth, there is Bhuloka. Our Earth is one of the planet of Bhuloka planetary systems. Earth is one of the planet. It's not that Earth planet is Bhuloka. No. Earth is one of the planet of Bhuloka planetary system. Then beyond Earth or above Earth is Bhuva Loka. So Bhuva Loka is where Prahlad Maharaj was born. Lord Narsingadev. That pastime, that divine Leela happened in Bhuva Loka. So Bhuva Loka is a place where uh, demonic people they live. Although they are very sinful, so these demons and ghosts they live there. They are very powerful people, much more powerful than us. So their planet is called as Bhuva Loka. In Gayatri we chant Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Kur Bhuva Swaha. So above Bhuva Loka is Swarga Loka. Swarga Loka is called heaven. In Christianity also there is talk about heaven, and in Islam also there is talk about Jannat. Jannat means heaven. So heaven. Now these three combined together, Bhuloka, Bhuvaloka, and Swargaloka, these three combined together, they are called middle planetary systems. They are called middle planetary systems. Above these three planetary systems are the upper planetary systems. Like for example, above Bhuloka is Bhuvaloka and Swargaloka. These three are middle planetary systems. So above middle planetary system are upper planetary system, and they comprise of Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. Satyaloka is the planet where Lord Brahma lives. I'll tell you more about it in the upcoming few minutes. Now, you see, these are the planetary system, 14 planetary systems in which our earthly planet is divided. Not earthly planet, sorry. Our universe is divided into these 14 planetary systems. Now, below Earth or below Bhuloka is are 17 planetary systems. Below Earth or below Bhuloka are the lower planetary systems. Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. Now, along with that, there are 8,400,000 species. Okay. So, below Earth is lower planetary systems. Earth to wind is Earth to earthly planetary system to heavenly planetary system is middle planetary system. And Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, these are upper planetary system. Now, this is one universe. Okay. This is one universe. And it all exists. It all comes out from the navel of Lord Mahavishnu. You see. Okay. Sorry, this comes out from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Okay. Now, we are all here. We are all present here in Bhuvaloka, this place. Now, this is one universe. This is just one universe. Like that, you see how many universes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is just a depiction because you see, the whole universe which has unlimited dimensions, you can't show on a piece of paper. But at least we have tried. So tried to depict however it is possible to depict it on a piece of paper, although it's very difficult. So now you see, this is one universe. Like that, there are so many universes. Okay. Now all these universes, they are floating on a causal ocean called current gel. Okay. Current gel it is called. And our universe is one of the universe from all these universes. Now who is this? Who is this person? So this personality is Karanodakshai Vishnu. Karan Vishnu is called. Karan means he is the cause of all the universes. I'll tell you how. How is the cause? And he sleeps on this causal ocean. Okay. Now, all these universes are there. There are millions and billions and trillions of universes floating in space. Okay. Like this, there are billions and trillions of universes floating everywhere, all around. So, all these universes combined together is called the material world. You see, this, you can see my cursor is moving like this. This is the end of material creation or material sky. Okay. So below this is the material world. Although we need to understand when we talk of below, it's just to understand on a piece of paper. Otherwise, in higher dimensions, below, up, all these directions actually don't exist. So, but to understand on this piece of paper, we can see that below this is the material world. Now, when you cross this material world, when you surpass this material world, that is called liberation. In this material world, no one is liberated. Everyone is bound by the laws of karma. But when you surpass the laws of karma, when you transcend the laws of karma, that means now you have no reactions. So liberation means to cross over this material existence. Okay. So when you cross, you see, this is called Brahma Jyoti. Now, what is Brahma Jyoti? What is Brahma Jyoti? Now we come to the interesting part. What is Brahma Jyoti? So Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence. Brahma, that's why Krishna is called as Brahma. That's why many times in the Vedic scriptures you will find this word Brahma. Yeah. Yeah. So Brahma in Vedic scriptures, many times you might have heard the word Brahma. So Brahma means the effulgence which comes out of Krishna's body. That is called Brahma. That is called Brahman or Brahma or Brahma Jyoti. Jyoti means effulgence. Now the whole creation, whether it is material world or the spiritual world, they all are present in Brahma Jyoti only. Here it is looking like in between there is Brahma Jyoti. No, the upper world is called the spiritual world. Whether it is spiritual world or the material world, both are present within Brahma Jyoti only. Right? Both the spiritual world and material world, they are in Brahma Jyoti. Now, Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence, like just like from sun globe there is effulgence, which gives light to the whole universe, isn't it? Similarly, From Krishna's planet or Krishna's body, there is a effulgence which covers the entire creation. In that effulgence, a very small part is this material world. There's a dark region which is created, and some of the avatars of Lord Vishnu, or one of the avatar of Lord Vishnu, he enters into that dark region. Because you see, dark region is what? Inert, it is matter, no? And matter cannot move on its own. So to move matter, the Lord has to enter. And that Lord is this one, Mahavishnu. That Lord is Mahavishnu. Now, who is Mahavishnu? He comes from here. You see, this is Vaikuntha. This is Vaikuntha. So from here, one of the Narayana, so this Vaikuntha has many, many Narayanas. One of the Narayana, he enters into this material called dark region, which gets formed in the Brahma Jyoti. So one of the Narayana, he enters into this Brahma Jyoti, and that Narayana is called as Mahavishnu. Okay, that Narayana is called Mahavishnu. Now this we learnt about this material world. This is Brahma Jyoti. Now Brahma Jyoti, both spiritual world and material world are present within Brahma Jyoti. Just like Earth is present in sunlight, Moon is also present in sunlight, isn't it? And Sun is out, the Earth is also within sunlight and Moon is also within sunlight, isn't it? So similarly, Brahma Jyoti sustains both material world as well as spiritual world. Now Brahma Jyoti is what? Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence which comes out of Krishna's body. Okay, that is called Brahma Jyoti. Krishna's effulgence. Okay. So when we surpass this universe, in the beginning we see only Brahman. In the beginning we see only light. That is Brahma Jyoti. But when we keep entering, a time comes when we start seeing the planets within Brahma Jyoti. Okay. So these planets are these planets. We start seeing these planets. Now these planets are called Vaikuntha planets. What are they called? Vaikuntha planets. Now, from why these planets are existing? Who are these planets? I mean, why Vaikuntha planets? So you see, now let us come to Krishna. So in all the Vaikuntha planets, this planet is the topmost. This is called Golok Vrindavan. Okay. And in Golok Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna, they live with their associates. Now, it's not that there are one or two associates. There are unlimited associates with whom Radha and Krishna, they live. We may also be one of those associates. We don't know. Right? We may also be one of those associates. That's why we have come in touch with this philosophy of Krishna, of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So Radha and Krishna, they live together with their associates and they unwind their beautiful divine activities. Now Lord Krishna, he starts expanding. So his first expansion is Lord Balram. You see, Baldev Prabhu. So the first expansion of Lord Krishna is Balaram. Bal means all the spiritual potency. All the potency is possessed by Lord Balram. Then you see, then Lord Balram, you see, Baldev Prabhu means Lord Balram. Then Lord Balram, he expands into four expansions. He expands. Now, what is expansion? You might be wondering. I'm talking about this word expansion. Now, what is the meaning of the word expansions? So, expansion means, I'll give you an example from Krishna's divine activities, which Krishna performed 5,000 years back. You will understand what is the meaning of expansion. So, Krishna married 16,000 women at once. Why? So, these 16,000 women were held captive by one demon called Narakasur. So Lord Krishna went and killed that demon and released these 16,000 women. Now, when they saw Krishna, they all fell in love with Krishna. Anyone who will see Krishna, he's bound to fall in love with Krishna, isn't it? So they all fell in love with Krishna and they said that now who will marry us? No one will marry a woman who has been held captive by such a demon. So Krishna married all of them. Now every woman has a dream boy. Every woman thinks that my dream boy should look like this. He should be tall, dark, and handsome. Some may think, no, he should be white and fair in color and red hair and all these things. Different women have different conceptions of their dream boy. So Krishna, it's not that he alone married all of them. No. Krishna expanded himself into 16,000 bodies. 16,000 bodies. And in every cell where marriage was taking place, in every cell, Lord Krishna was there, along with these 16,000 women. Now, every woman was thinking that Krishna is only with me. But Krishna was present with all of them. In all the cell, he was there. And not only that, Krishna was looking exactly the way that woman desired. So in one of the form, Krishna was looking like a tall, dark, and handsome boy because that lady desired his dream boy like that. Another lady desired that Krishna, my husband should be little chubby, short in height. So in one of the body, Krishna looked like that. Whichever form these 16,000 women desired, exactly in that form, Krishna married them. And he expanded himself into 16,000 bodies. Each body was different, working differently, everything different. One was talking, one was dancing, one was doing fire sacrifice, all these continuously, simultaneously, at once. So that is the meaning of the word expansion. Now, human beings cannot expand, so we cannot understand. We can only, by hearing, we can fathom what is the meaning of the word expansion. So Lord Balram expands himself in. So Krishna's first expansion is Lord Balram. And then Lord Balram expands himself into four expansions. Okay, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. You can see on your screen. You see. Lord Balram here. And he expands himself into Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. Now from this Sankarshan, and then Sankarshan, you see, Lord Balram expands himself into four expansions. Now from these four expansions, Sankarshan again expands. So this Sankarshan expands himself into the first expansion, which is Vasudev. So from Sankarshan, another four expansions come. Again, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. And now this Sankarshan is called Mahasankarshan. This Mahasankarshan expands himself into unlimited planets. He expands him. So unlimited planets are there. These are called Vaikuntha planets. Now this Mahasankarshan expands himself into all these planets. And each planet is present in different form. In one of the planets is present in, you see, Varaha form. Varaha means when Krishna took the form of a pig. In one of the planet, he is present, Narayan is present in the form of Matsya, like fish incarnation. In one of the planet, is in the form of, you see, nursing expansion. In one of the planet, he may be in the form of Lord Ram. In one of the planet, he may be in the form of Lord uh, Srinivas Govinda, Tirupati Balaji. So like that, these are all Narayana forms in Vaikuntha planets. They all are the predominating deities of these Vaikuntha planets. And they only come down as avatar. Avatar means to descend, avataran, to come down. So these Narayanas, when they descend on earth, or in not only on earth, in the whole universe, they are called avatar, they are called incarnations. They come from here only, from Vaikuntha Loka. Okay. So all these Narayanas are expansions of whom? Expansions of Krishna. So Krishna expands as Balram, Balram expands as Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. Then that first Sankarshan expands himself into another four expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And this second Sankarshan expands as Narayan, Narayanas, unlimited Narayanas. You can count how many are there. Now, one of the Narayana enters into this material world to run this material world. You require a personality, you require a soul, super soul. So he is called as Paramatma, he is everything. This whole universe is his area, or his, you can say, he is the predominating deity of this whole universe. And our universe is just, not universe, but this material world. So this material world is a dark region which gets created in the Brahma Jyoti. And then to run that dark region, the Lord, one of the Narayana, he enters into this dark region. And that region then becomes material world. And in this material world, there are unlimited universes. And that's how this material world and spiritual world exist. Now the question may be why we have come here. What is our role in all this? What is our role? So we are all associates of Krishna. We are all part and parcels of Krishna. We were all present in Golok, Vrindavan, or in these Vaikuntha planets, assisting one of the avatar of the Lord, one of the form of the Lord, serving them. But the moment we desire to be served, like Krishna, our relationship with Krishna is loving relationship. Now, love means freedom to choose. If there is no freedom, there is no love. So Krishna has given us freedom so that we can serve him nicely. But the moment we misuse that freedom, because the moment you have freedom, you can misuse that freedom also. So the moment we misuse that freedom, we are put into this material world. For example, in a country, the government gives laws to you, which is called constitution of the country. And the government also gives you freedom. But the moment you misuse that freedom, you are put into prison house, isn't it? So this material world is like a prison house where we are shackled by four chains: birth, death, old age, and diseases. Now, these four chains do not exist in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means no birth, no disease, no old age, no death. And that is where we belong to. That's why we don't like death. That's why everyone fears death. Why? Because spirit soul is eternal. He is from Vaikuntha. So that's why he does not like misery, death, diseases, old age. We don't like. Because spirit soul never gets old. We don't never get old. The body gets old. And because we are identifying with the body, we think I'm old. So there are many aspects to it, but I just wanted to cover some basic aspects so that you may know why we are here into this material world. Once we are here in this material world, what is our duty? So we fall into this material world because we have misused our independence against Krishna. We are meant to serve him, but the moment we desire to be served because of misuse of free will, we fall into this material world. Now, this material world it contains only 10% living entities. 90% of the living entities are liberated and they are in the spiritual world. Only 10% of the living entities are here in this material world. And there are 8,400,000 species, of which only in human species we can go back to Vaikuntha. All other species are punishing species. That means they are meant to punish us. They are called Pap Yoni. Pap Yoni means sinful species. Every other species except human species are called punishment. They are meant for punishing the spirit soul. Only in human species we have the freedom to go back to Krishna. So why punishment? Because when we get punished, the spirit soul starts to question, oh my God, why am I getting punished in so many lifetimes? Now I should search for the truth. And that's when he comes in touch with Guru, and the Guru guides him back to Krishna. So this is the sum and substance of Vedic cosmology and our existence and higher realms. We'll cover more about it as we move ahead in Bhagavad Gita, but wanted all of you to gain some insights into higher aspects of the universe, how this creation took place, what is human life meant for. Human life is meant for God realization. Human life is meant for going back to Krishna. That is the only purpose of human life. Okay, so we'll stop here. If any one of you have any questions regarding these sessions, you can WhatsApp me, because today we'll not take any question because already we are late. So you can WhatsApp me your questions and I'll be very glad to answer your questions on WhatsApp. And if I have many questions, I'll make a separate video with question answer so that all of you will get benefited. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.